Good morning, everybody. You are currently listening to a Tall Girls podcast hosted by a tall girl named India. I hope you're doing well on this spectacular day. I'm just going to jump right into the topic. As you can tell by the title already of today's episode, I will be talking about one of my favorite compliments involving my height. And I just want to say this with probably the most sarcasm I have in me, because this honestly isn't a compliment, but let me just explain the entire thing. So I was scrolling through TikTok one day. By the way, you should totally follow me on there and on Instagram and on Pinterest at a Tall Girls podcast so you can have access to daily tall girl content. But anyways, I was scrolling through TikTok one day and I saw this trend that I can't even explain. TikTok has so many trends, and honestly, everything is so confusing. Everything gets mixed up and it's just really weird. So I'm not even going to go too deep into it, but there was this girl, right? And on the screen, it just started out with a sentence that was like, "You're pretty, ... And she did this hand gesture to indicate that she was happy. So this little hand gesture was a little half heart hand gesture, with your, index finger and your middle finger on the same hand. And they kind of put it, see, I told you I can't explain this TikTok trend. It's very confusing, but she just did a half heart with her hand, that type of gesture. And then after that, the sentence finishes for a tall girl. So it's like, "You're pretty ... for a tall girl." And then she did the gesture that points to the door, like, the door, when you point to the door and you're like, exit, leave, don't come back, like that's what she did. It's very difficult to explain because you guys can't see me doing it, and I can't put it on the screen for you guys to be able to see it. But the point here is, somebody told her that she was pretty for a tall girl and she wasn't hearing it. And honestly, same. I don't even understand what that means, because I also used to get that, like, "You're pretty for a tall girl," or even comments that's kind of like, "Oh, if you were shorter you would be prettier." But I more so heard the "you're pretty for a tall girl" so-called compliment, and I honestly don't understand what that means. Like, even saying it out loud doesn't make sense. Like, "You're pretty for a tall girl." What? Okay, I'm gonna give a hypothetical. Like, let's say you put two women next to each other, okay? They have the same hair color, same hairstyle, same eye color, same clothes, same facial features, same build, relatively, same basically everything except for their height. So one could be 6'1" and the other could be 5'6". Hypothetical. I don't even think that's possible for people of two different heights to basically have everything else as the same except for their height. Like, even if they're different heights and they had similar builds, I don't even think they would be the same weight. But let's just pretend everything is the same. They're shaped the same. They weigh the same. Everything's the same except their height. There's just a height difference of 5 inches. Would you say that the girl who's 6'1" is ugly if you think that both of them are pretty or beautiful? They look exactly the same. You think that their features are attractive, so you think that they're beautiful, but you would say that the taller one isn't as attractive as the shorter one, even though they literally look the same and you consider most of their features beautiful. That honestly doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's a weird example, but understand my point. we've been told all throughout the years when we were growing up, especially in our teenage years, it's always in our teenage years because it's like difficult to go through changes with our bodies and expect ourselves to always be happy with how we look. So especially in our teenage years growing up, we are always told that it's our unique features that makes us beautiful and love your differences and all that stuff. And wouldn't our height, because that's very unique, our height is very unique, wouldn't our height be beautiful? Think about it for a second. Our unique features make us beautiful. Being a tall girl, so our height, we have a unique feature of being tall. Our height is our unique feature. Why would you basically imply that our unique feature that supposedly makes us beautiful is like kind of bringing our beauty down in a way? And it's that awkward, backhanded, so-called compliment that just gets thrown at us. You're pretty for a tall girl. And it has us really confused. It is super, super confusing because it's like, I feel like when I hear you're pretty for a tall girl, I feel like you're trying to say that tall women are not attractive. And because we have like these exceptional features, like, I don't know, we have purple eyes, like, oh my god, like you have to be super extreme, like you have an extreme feature like purple eyes, like extremely beautiful facial structure. You have to have an extreme feature in order to be considered pretty because you're tall, and since you're tall, you're automatically not attractive. And you're basically implying that our height is actually bringing our attractiveness down, is ruining our supposed attractiveness. And who sets those standards of attractiveness? Social media. You guys know how I feel about social media. If you have listened all the way back to toxic heightism and social media, you would know how I feel about social media. Social media, and I even said in one of my earlier episodes that I don't want to blame social media. I feel like social media definitely facilitates these standards, but what really starts it and what gets it going is the people that are on here. The people are actually the villains, not the social media. The people that are spreading this message, that are making these posts about, yeah, you're pretty for a tall girl. Oh, you think a girl is pretty, you talk to her, and all of a sudden she stands up and you're just like, oh no, like she's no longer pretty because she's taller than you. It's stuff like that that is really, really shaping the standards of attractiveness, standards of beauty in our society. And it's not okay. It's not okay to height shame people. It's not tall, short, average size. You cannot height shame a person. That's just not okay. Whether you're behind a screen or face to face with someone, I will say it again, like I said it 4 times already. It is not okay to height shame people. It's not okay to height shame people. And what makes it even worse is that some people don't even understand that comments like these are very, very hurtful. They think that, oh, I'm doing this as a favor because she knows that being tall is not appealing to men. Keyword here, men. That's all I'm gonna say. Just let that sink in. Keyword men. Or, oh, she's probably insecure about her height. Let me just tell her that even though she's tall, she's still kind of pretty. Like if she was shorter, she would be stunning, but her height just is not working for her, or something along those lines. So I just want to say, next time you're ready to fix your face and say to somebody you're pretty, well, say to a girl, you're pretty for a tall girl, just stop after you say you're pretty. That's it. Like, instead of saying you're pretty for a tall girl, just stop and say you're pretty. That's it. Full stop, period, point blank, period. Like, that's all. Because honestly, tall or not, you are beautiful. It doesn't matter how tall you are. It doesn't matter how short you are. It doesn't matter how average height you are. I don't know why I said that. It doesn't matter how average height you are. You guys know what I mean. You guys get the point. It doesn't matter your height. You are beautiful. And to my tall ladies listening to this, your height is just another one of your beautiful, amazing, awesome features. And like I said before, our unique features are what make us beautiful. And your height is very, very unique. And when people say to me, to other people, when I see people getting annoyed by you're pretty for a tall girl, I can't help but relate, because it does annoy me, but it can't stop us from embracing our height. And it won't. I won't let it stop us from embracing our height. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. I really, really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate you. Follow me on my socials at A Tall Girls Podcast on Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. They'll all be linked below, so you can just click the links and go straight there. It's easier for you. And also, I actually completed my website, atallgirlspodcast.com, where all of my episodes are, and you can leave reviews. I have a blog session, so I have a blog portion for each episode, so it's easier for you to read. If it's easier for you to read, or you just can't listen to it but you want to know what's happening, you can just read it and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna link that below too, so you guys can have it. It's a work in progress. I'm gonna continue working on it. It's not super perfect. It's not even super finished, but hey, it's there, and I'm still gonna continue to work on it. So I'm super excited for you guys to see that. So it will be linked below, so you can check it out and hit me up. Feel free to let me know what you think of this episode, and if you want to even give me suggestions, let me know too. And subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to, podcast platform. If you're on YouTube, whatever, just subscribe so you can stay up to date with all my episodes, and even leave a review. Okay, you guys are so amazing, and I'll see you in the next one. Good night and goodbye.